full health care. It's have the resident strength, be able to input into your business. Extremely excited about it, and partnering with these guys, not only from just on the for taxes.
Want me to intro? Thanks, Kevin. Sounds like you're breaking up a little bit. Are we good to go there? Okay, cool. So yeah, everyone, thanks for having us. We are very excited to be hopefully what we think is one of many presentations with you guys and spending a lot of time with you guys working on a number of things. One of these obviously being the Affordable Care Act, or as you may have heard of it referenced as Obamacare. We're excited about this. We think it's a huge opportunity. But before we get into all of that, we did want to just kind of give you all a background into what we're all about, both on our insurance division side as well as the tax side or tax software side. So again, we've got myself, Mark Thomas, and Jeremy Duncan, my business partner. And we, along with another gentleman, Brian Wilson, are the owners of RightWay Tax Solution. And RightWay Tax Solution, just to give you guys a little insight into what we're all about, is essentially a buying group where we primarily work with nationwide franchise businesses. So we deal with local businesses as well as nationwide franchise business setups. So what we specialize is obviously tax software training, as well as everything that goes along with the tax preparation industry. So marketing, sales, all of that rolled into essentially a buying group. And we all learn from each other, and we all try to educate each other on what new opportunities are coming across the tax preparation industry. And that's kind of where we're at now, where we're faced with a huge opportunity to tap into the ACA program, the Affordable Care Act program, and take advantage of it. So we're going to get into a little bit more detail about what that's all about. But to intro in my partner, Jeremy Duncan, who's going to be presenting a brief overview of what the ACA program is all about, as well as how we all can participate in taking advantage of the opportunity. Let me pull in Jeremy Duncan. Jeremy, are you there?
My audio is cutting out. I need you in here. All right. So Mark did the brief introduction. I'm having trouble with my audio here, but just wanted to jump in and kind of run you through what it is that we came up with. So our primary business, our core business, is tax preparation software, and we're going to get into a lot of how we came to this particular solution, which was the Affordable Care Act. A lot of people know about it, but they don't know necessarily how it impacts their business, especially their tax business, and they don't know how to capitalize on it. We were fortunate enough to be in the right place at the right times and have the right contacts, and we devised a solution for the Affordable Care Act, which allow us to deploy it en masse, allow us to really get it out there and work with our preferred partners like Umbrella, but we're not rolling it out to everybody. Only specific partners, our big players, have access to this solution. So we're excited to be able to present this opportunity to you guys. And like it says, the solution is really a call center. We didn't want to bombard the tax office and try to make you guys insurance experts. You're tax experts. That's what you guys do. You do taxes. Unfortunately, there's an overlap. And actually, fortunately and unfortunately, there's an overlap between the open enrollment season for insurance and the tax season. So how do we capitalize on that? we outsource to the top call center in the insurance industry. So we're not going to really talk about the political side of things, whether you are or you aren't in favor of Obamacare. The big thing is, wouldn't you like to capitalize on your customer base? All the different verticals, all the different opportunities to cross-sell your customer base. And the insurance industry has now been married to it. So we liken it to, you remember when, we probably don't remember, a lot of us, but auto insurance became mandatory. If you were an auto insurance guy at that time, you would have absolutely made a fortune. So we're kind of in that same position too, where now health insurance is mandatory. So we need to be able to parlay that into revenue. You have the customer. How do we sell them more things, make more money? So the beauty of it is we want to start early. Now, we know that the Affordable Care Act platform has not gotten off to a smooth start. But being out there, letting your customers know that you're in the know, that you're a source for that information, when they do getting it run smoothly, you will be able to assist them. So getting in on the ground floor. Just to bring you up to speed, I don't know how much everybody knows, so I'm going to assume that that you don't know too much. So let's just talk real quick about the Affordable Care Act legislation commonly known as ACA. So in America right now, we have 30 million uninsured Americans. So kids, self-employed people, entrepreneurs like ourselves. If we didn't have spouses working, we would be uninsured. So really, this is the service, or trying to get as many people covered as possible. It was signed into law in 2010. It went through a lot of trials to get deployed, and it was held up in the Supreme Court and ultimately signed into law. Most of those provisions go into effect January 1, 2014. The open enrollment season, it started October 1. It's not off to a very good start. It's supposed to run through March 31st. So what was Affordable Care Act supposed to accomplish? It was supposed to accomplish prohibiting health insurers, so the health insurance companies, from refusing coverage to patients based on their medical history or pre-existing conditions. Previously, if you came in and you were, let's just say, a pregnant woman, and you should have insurance and don't have insurance, a health insurance company says, I don't want to insure you because I know that in 6 months I'm going to have a huge expense on my hands, and you're going to have a child that's got to go to the doctor. So they wanted to eliminate that discrimination. They wanted to establish minimum standards of qualified health benefits. So there are 10 key health services that are in these qualified plans that they wanted to establish as a standard or a minimum level of care. The second thing is they wanted to provide oversight for it. So the creation of a National Healthcare Workforce Commission to make recommendations to Congress on really how to change this, because we are at a historic point in time. I mean, this is a landmark moment. It's never been done, which is why it's awesome, scary, and actually been a little bit of a mess. But it's pretty huge what's going on. The other big thing was the expansion of Medicaid for low-income Americans by increasing the eligibility limits to 133% of the federal poverty line. We're going to touch on that a little more in a later slide, but that's pretty significant. And then the biggest thing is providing a subsidy to low and middle income Americans to help them buy insurance. So before you couldn't afford it, now the government's going to offset that through a advanced premium in tax credit, and it should make it, or in theory, it should make things more affordable. The creation of a central health insurance exchange. This is where, if you're watching the news, that poor lady is getting beat up right now because of the debacle, as they're calling it, but the failed rollout of the online platform, the health exchange, which was supposed to allow you to compare policies and rates, shop, qualify for the insurance, apply for the insurance, and really get it in force or buy. The big piece that was up for debate initially was forcing Americans to have to get coverage, right? It's requiring you to get coverage or you will be fined for non-compliance. The fines we'll talk about here in a little bit: 1% of your income, $95 per adult member of household, or $47.50 for dependents in the first year, and it's increasing as you get closer. So really, it was the creation of a new tax for non-compliance. The thing that's probably going to make you guys upset with how much money you're going to make as an umbrella office is for individuals making the AGI exceeding $500,000 or $1 million for a married couple. Yeah, you're going to have to pay an extra 5.4% surtax. Oops, I clicked on the screen. So if you make over $500,000 as a single person or $1 million as a married couple, you're getting another 5.4% tax put on your back. So I guess one of the problems that come, more money, more problems, I guess. They're attempting to reduce Medicare spending by $400 billion in the next 10 years, which just seems crazy. It's a lot of money, but not in perspective of actual Medicare spending. But that's another topic. And really, there's probably a 30 to 45 minute presentation just going through on the Affordable Care Act legislation and how it's going to impact us, the infrastructure on how it's going to be rolled out. But this is just really to be an introduction. So what is Obamacare? It's a way for the federal government, like we said, through a subsidy to help Americans afford their insurance, middle income, low income families. This is name brand health insurance, not government insurance. So one of the misconceptions that people have is that now you are going to be insured by Obamacare. Well, no, you're still going to get it through Anthem, Blue Cross, Blue Shield, or one of the other providers playing in your area. So it is going to be through one of the major medical insurance providers. It's a way for more families with pre-existing conditions. We touched on that. And also known as Affordable Care Act. Why do we need to focus on it? And we get that nice graphic because taxes and the Affordable Care Act are forever married. It's referred to commonly as kissing cousins. They are walking down the road of life, holding hands, and inseparable as of this law. The reason being is because the health insurance premium credit, the advanced premium tax credit, is going to be reconciled on your taxes. Every year, that's the way it's going to happen. If they overpaid your premium credit, they're going to recapture that overpayment of credit through your tax return, your refund if you have one. If you owe, they're just going to tack more. For non-compliance, they're going to recapture. They're going to get the fees through your tax return. So that's the reason these two are going to be linked. There's going to be some sort of statement in the tax return, some form that you're going to be required to fill out to really kind of catalog the taxpayers' length of coverage for that particular year. So that's not in place yet, not something we need to worry about this year, but something that's coming. So who are we competing against? National brands have already rolled out that, hey, we're going to be offering a solution for the Affordable Care Act. H&R Block, and I don't know why they keep rolling. H&R Block has said we're partnered with a company called Go Health, which is a national call center that you will be able to call into, and they will assist you in securing an individual health insurance policy. Jackson Hewitt is an online company. It's not a call center. well, I guess it gets routed out to field agents for them to then call on referred leads. The big thing is, how do we compete with that? Well, this is the solution. We can compete. It's pretty much step for step with exactly what H&R Block's doing, and it's really a positioning piece as much as it is a value add, that we are competitive, that Umbrella has all of the relevant services that any of the other major franchises have. You guys, as being part of Umbrella, you are directly in competition and have all the tools that H&R Block does. So taxpayers want to answer. They don't want to know they need to know where to go and get them, and you can provide them with that solution. It is also an ongoing revenue stream. So how do we make more money? Like I said at the beginning, how do we make more money off of that same customer? We wanted to keep it as easy, as streamlined and as profitable as possible. And one of the major questions that we're getting is, what are the qualifications for a subsidy? Right? Do my customers even qualify? It's great if I can make money off of it, but do my customers qualify? So qualifications are based off of 3 factors. 1, the size of the family, the annual income of the household, and do you already have affordable care in place? One of the assumptions that I guess there is a 4th factor, which is how old is the applicant? Because if you're too old, then you go on to Medicare. If you're too young, you go on to CHIP, Child Health Insurance Policy, I believe it is, CHIP. So your age is another big factor in there. And this is how it's broken out. There are actually ranges all based off of the federal poverty line to determine whether or not somebody qualifies. So this is a calculator that we have built. We built this early on just to run demographics on our own customer base and determine really what was the eligible potential, what was the potential of the market. And so what was the size of your family? 1, and then how much money did you make? If you were an individual, a single male or female, making between $14,000 and $27,000, basically roughly between 133% and 250% of the federal poverty line, that is your absolute sweet spot. So that is the right in the middle of who's going to, 1, qualify, and 2, who's going to receive the maximum subsidy. So you're eligible, and you can decide to purchase a type of plan. Now, the plan's not to go in too much depth because you don't really need to know this. They call it the metallic series. There's 4 different plan options. You have a platinum plan, which is the what's a high-end car, Mark? What is it? Bentley. It's the Bentley. The Rolls Royce is the platinum plan. And then you've got the gold plan, which is your Mercedes Benz. You've got your silver plan, which is your Ford. And then you've got your what is the last one? Your bronze plan, which is I don't know. It gets you from point A to point B. We'll just leave it at that. Like we were talking about earlier, we were talking about non-compliance, the penalty for 2014, 15, 16. So as you can see, it increases. 2014, $95 per adult and $47.50 per dependent, with a maximum of $285 based on household size, or 1% of your taxable income, whichever one's greater. So if you don't comply and you make $100,000, you get dinged 1%. Makes sense? Great. 2015, it's going up. 2016, it's going up. 2017, it's going to crush you, and it's cheaper to comply than to fight it. What was that?
Just break it down the severity of this.
Oh yeah. It gets real nasty if you're not insured at that point. So moving on, if you have a household size of 3, right? You got 2 parents and a kid, a single mom, 2 kids, whatever the case may be. You have to, if you make between 133% and 250%, which is $25,390 $47,725. So if you're making between 25 and 50 grand, you qualify and you're really in the sweet spot for a subsidy. So it's a very large percentage of our market. Now, if you do make more than that, you're still getting a subsidy, and it's still pretty substantial, 50, 60%. It's just when you're in this bracket, in the 133% to 250, you're looking at 85, 95%, and then depending on the metallic series you select, either silver or bronze, I mean it's darn near free. So it can be very profitable. So the money part, I'm actually going to kick this back over to Mark for him to talk on the money piece.
So one thing that's great about the element or the money part of this is the residual or the ongoing year after year revenue. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with the term residual revenue and how great that can be or how important that is for building and sustaining wealth. Well, this is exactly what we're talking about, where these customers, we get them in the door, and year one, the profit is going to be, or your portion of the profit or commission is going to be anywhere, and obviously it ranges, as Jeremy was mentioning earlier, what plan they sign up on, whether it's the gold plan, silver plan, or the platinum plan. But the range will be for your portion anywhere from $55 on the low end all the way up to $110 on the high end. The average being $75 per policy that's in force for the first year. So looking at the amount of people that are going to qualify, that are going to be making between $30,000 and up to almost $95,000, that's a huge pool of people that are going to benefit from this program in one way or another, whether through the premium tax credit or the subsidy that the government's going to be paying for their health care, or through the fact that they previously didn't qualify or didn't have entrance into any insurance programs because of pre-existing conditions. The point is, there's a huge pool of people, and the profit here is going to be ranging again anywhere from $55 on the low end up to $110 on the high end, average being about $175 $75 per policy. The residual part is going to come into play with for doing nothing at all, just the fact that they will be keeping that policy in effect. There'll be a portion of $25. If it was $75, it would be a $25 commission payout for year two. So essentially, 66%, 2/3 of the first year, 1/3, of the first year commission is going to be coming to you guys in the second year. So all of that is going to be coming back to you year one, 75, year two, projection of 25. We broke it down into what we believe is realistic numbers or projections. This breaking down, saying that the average tax office is going to be doing anywhere from 800 to 1,000 returns, and of those 1,000 returns, 300, let's say, would actually sign up and go through with Obamacare. Again, your royalty or commission portion would be $75. So that'd be a total of $22,500 simply for having your clients call into the call center and sign up for Obamacare. So essentially a referral program. Year two, if we had almost 95% retention, meaning 95% of the people that had Obamacare this year will renew it next year. And why wouldn't they? They're going to be receiving a substantial tax subsidy. So the average renewal per policy would be an average of $50. Year two, that would be $12,500. So total added revenue to your office would be $35,000. And these are what we believe are very conservative numbers. Um, but again, we think that there's a huge opportunity here. All you have to do, and this is kind of the key to the whole program, is essentially have your clients call into the call center. And this call center is, again, as Jeremy had touched on earlier, one of the largest in the nation. They have over 300 agent or licensed agents ready to talk. I believe it's 7 days a week, is it?
Mm-hmm.
7 days a week. And what they will do is, one, give your clients an overview or a free education on Obamacare and what they qualify for in terms of subsidy, as well as give them a free quote in terms of what they qualify and what their insurance policy or premium will be. And then if they go through and decide to purchase, the call center will take care of everything from there. So essentially, you guys will be referring your clients, leveraging that trust that you guys have with your clients to, hey, call in, get a free education on what this Obamacare is all about, and get a free quote, see what you qualify for in terms of the government subsidy.
Cool. So the beautiful part about it is you don't have to be licensed. You're not an insurance agent. You don't have to talk about coverages and things that are outside of your comfort zone, things that you're not really licensed to speak to. Like Mark was saying, you simply say, here's a phone number. This is our preferred partner that we work with. We know they provide quality care. We know that they know what they're talking about, and you're going to get what you need, what you deserve, what you qualify for, and you can let it go. So that's the beautiful part about it, is there's no licensing requirements on your end. Umbrella has actually taken care of that through its affiliate, licensing, in-house licensing, so you don't have to. If you in Texas, if most of the offices are in Texas, it actually does require, if you are to participate in any way, shape, or form in a commission or a percentage of commission, you need to either be licensed or affiliated with a licensed agency, and that's taken care of for you through Umbrella. And I think we've used up all of our time that we were allotted. Kevin, you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Hear you perfectly. Yes, sir.
Yep.
Great. Yeah, I'm good, man. I cannot tell you guys enough how excited I am about having an opportunity to be able to offer this, and you guys should be as well. This again, not only you guys being tax partners and being a tax business, but this is just another revenue stream for you that you can see some additional revenue. As Mark mentioned earlier, and Jody mentioned, this is just the tip of the iceberg for this. If you're not being paying attention and looking around and seeing everything that's going on here right now, I mean, there's a lot of companies out there getting into this, and like you said, there's been some initial costs, but that's much like anything. And there's costs in the beginning. So, but we know that this is here, and it's right here, so let's take advantage of it. I mean, the clients are right here in our face, so we might as well take advantage. And the good thing is, again, that the call center that we're using has a very high success rate in converting these things. And I know Mark touched on it a little bit, but there's other ancillary services and other services that they will attempt to sell them on as well. And we'll delve into that at a later date. But that's all I really have. I think we got a few questions. We'll open it up for a few questions. If you will, just type in some questions, and as they come in, we'll pick those off. And let's see, right now it is 7:34, so we'll open it up for about 10 minutes or so for questions. Mark, if you see them coming in, or Junior, if you see them coming in, if you guys want to address them.
Yeah, so there is one there's one from Ashley. How are you, Ashley? Not sure if you missed it. When's the deadline to sign up without getting a penalty? So this is actually a pretty fluid item right now, since the mess with the website. not working for the federal exchange. They're talking about moving it back. Right now it is March 31st. If you miss open enrollment, which again is October 1st, it's already started, through March 31st as of right now, you're out of luck for the entire year unless you have a very special qualifying circumstance, which is kind of outside the norm, and most people it wouldn't apply to. We do anticipate them extending the enrollment period because of the mess, but it's up in the air right now. So do we know what percentage the fee will be? I'm assuming we're talking fee can be one of two things. I guess it's either how much their insurance premium will be, or the fee for non-compliance. The fee for non-compliance is $95 per adult member of household, or and $47.50 per dependent. I think there is a max out of pocket on the fine of $285, or 1% of your household income. So if you make whichever one's higher, so it can either be 285, or it can be, if you make 100 grand, 1%. Yeah, you're getting hit for a stack. So I think that the penalty is again $95 per adult member of household, or and $47.50 per dependent, or 1% of your annual, whichever one's higher.
I have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
I know that right now, obviously they're working on the consumer side and the taxpayer side. They continue to push back the dates and the regulations on the business side for them being able to operate. Is that correct?
Yeah. So SHOP, the small business purchase, it's been deferred for this entire year. And that's honestly why we haven't paid it too much attention. It's just the individual mandate is in force right now.
Okay, great. Well, if there's any additional questions, guys, please just email me with it. You guys got some other stuff to do. We do appreciate you taking the time. I will say that there will be some additional training that will be taking place with this next week. That is crossing out the T's and dotting out the I's as it pertains to the process of transferring those leads, and how you guys will be able to log in and see what's been written as a policy and all those things. So there'll be some other details that we'll be rolling out. As soon as you guys have anything else from your end, Johnny?
Well, there was one other piece. I think Ashley had popped up another question. The penalty. When will the penalty be assessed? You're correct. It's on 2014 tax year. So not on this year's upcoming tax return, but next year's tax return in actual year 2015. So 2014 tax year 2015 is when that penalty will start popping up.
And Jerry, you guys may have answered this, but will we receive any marketing collateral for the offices from that call center?
Marketing collateral from the call center? They're not generating any marketing collateral. What will go out is when somebody does call in, and they do purchase, or they do get a policy in place, they will receive a welcome packet from their insurance provider. So if they signed up with Anthem's going to immediately send them out a welcome packet. We do have some basic verbiage, things that we use internally, and just basic marketing pieces. They're not in their finalized form, just because things keep moving as far as the facts. It is a very fluid piece right now, and it is kind of a mess, to be honest. But we're in the middle of it, whether you want to be or not. Being in the tax business, you are now in the healthcare business as well. So we're figuring it out with the government as they go and trying to be on top of it. And Kevin's right there with us, and Umbrella's right there with us. So we're making it happen.
Let's see here. Did anyone else have any other questions? We'll type it in once or twice. Other than that, Mark, I think that's it.
It's beautiful.
Great. Well, thanks again, everyone, for joining us tonight and being on the call. There's a lot to this Affordable Care Act, and we hope we were able to educate you a little bit on what it's all about and the opportunity that's before us. And
we spared you the 210 slide PowerPoint deck that we have on this, so I don't think we'll go through that one. It's a beast.
Yeah, we want to keep it short and sweet. But yeah, everyone, thanks again. We look forward to meeting with you guys.